Attorney Ahmad Yakzan here from the American Dream Law Office. I'm here with you today to talk to you about a very important issue. And it's the issue of immigration detainers when someone is detained by the police. I get this question a lot. I actually just spoke to a lady today about her son who was picked up by the police after a traffic stop, and he ended up in detention. And her first instinct was to actually go and pay the bond to get him out, the criminal bond to get him out. I'm here today to tell you not to do that. So I'm going to explain in this video a couple of things. What's an immigration detention? What's an ICE detainer? And what's a criminal bond? Now remember, I don't do criminal law. I do only immigration, but I will explain to you what the difference is. So let's start. Ahmad Yakzan from the American Dream Law Office. I do immigration, but I also advise a lot of criminal attorneys about the immigration consequences of their client's plea. And I have a lot of experience in criminal immigration, or crimmigration as it's called. So what's a typical situation? A typical situation, someone is driving who's undocumented, for example, had a couple of drinks at the bar, and they're driving home. On the way home, he gets stopped by the police for a busted taillight, for example. He's had too much to drink. He goes through field sobriety. They arrest him. They send him to do detention to the local jail for him to actually be processed or to figure out what they want to do with him. Now, if they're not a U.S. citizen, what's going to happen is that they're going to ask him about his immigration status when he gets arrested. And if he's not a U.S. citizen, he's going to be put in detention. And an immigration detainer is going to be actually placed on him. What does the immigration detainer mean? That means that immigration will have 3 days for them to figure out what they want to do with him. Now, sometimes on a DUI for a green card holder, they might not really care. But in this time of the Trump administration, what's going to happen more likely is that he's going to end up in removal proceedings down the road. And you ask why? Just for a DUI you're going to end up in removal proceedings? Yes, because the Trump administration actually changed the enforcement priorities. And if you're only accused of a crime, the Trump administration is actually putting your removal proceedings now. So what I would do if I were you, your first instinct as a relative or a husband or a wife or a parent is to go actually pay that criminal bond for him to be out of the criminal detention. I would not do that without actually speaking to an attorney, because here's what happens when you actually pay that bond, that local bond to the local bondsman. What's going to happen is that that system is going to show that his local charges, which is the DUI, is taken care of. So they don't have to actually go, they don't have to do anything about the criminal charge anymore, because you have a bond. You still have to go appear in front of a judge, but you don't have anything pending, and you can go out on the bond. If you're a U.S. citizen, that's what's going to happen. But if you're not, what's going to, immigration is going to get a crack at to see if they really want to keep you or not. So once you post that local bond, the system is going to show that he's going to be released. Your relative is going to be released, and immigration is going to get 3 days to determine what they want to do. Now, 9 times out of 10. They might end up in removal proceedings, and they might not be released. So what I'm saying is, if you have someone who's not an immigrant in your family, or who's an immigrant with no immigration status, and they get arrested, please, please, please speak to an immigration attorney before you go and post that bond. I know it's human nature. I promise it's human nature to go and post that bond because you want your loved ones to actually be out of jail. But please speak to an immigration attorney before you do it. You can always call us at 1-888-963-7326. I understand it might be the middle of the night and your relative just got arrested. We're going to be there for you. Call us 24/7. Schedule a consultation. More likely than not, I'll be able to see you that same day, but just later hour. Again, the number is 1-888-963-7326, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, my friends.